Welcome back to another episode of Classic Conversations. And today I have she was my ninth grade English teacher. And we recently reconnected through Facebook. And I thought it'd be really cool to catch up with her. She was really cool. So let's welcome Miss Maria Karaiskos to the show. How you doing today?
Hello, Isaiah. Thank you for having me. It's good
Oh
to.
no, the pleasure is all mine. Trust me. Thank you for doing this. So before we get started, let's just get started. Let's talk about what was growing up like for you?
Um, well, I'm a daughter of immigrant parents, so my story is really similar to other stories of immigrant children. They came to America for a better life, and they did not speak English. They had zero money, zero funds. They thought America would be a better place to raise their children. And as the daughter of immigrants, we always have to, um, work as hard as our parents do, translate for our parents. So they taught me how to work hard, and nothing is given. You have to work for everything. So my experience is the same as other immigrant experiences.
Are you an only child or do you have any siblings?
I have a beautiful younger sister who's also an assistant principal at another school, PS 234. And I have a younger brother who is also an assistant principal in a high school. So we were a family of three children, mom and dad.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what got you into teaching? Like, how did you get started?
Hmm. I always loved school. I loved being in the classroom. I loved learning. I loved all of my teachers. So it just seemed like a just a great segue into adulthood. I felt like I was always a teacher to my mom and my dad when it came to language. So then it just seemed like a smooth transition.
That's amazing. So did you have a career before teaching, or is that the first thing that you went into?
That's a really good question, Isaiah. No, it's just been my one and only true passion is teaching. I've been doing it for 30 years. I know that's a long time, longer than people have been alive. My co-teachers are younger than 30 years old. But I always loved teaching, and it has gone by quickly. 30 years has gone by quickly. I still feel like a new teacher, like I'm learning every day.
Hmm. That actually segues into my next question. So what is the most rewarding part of teaching for you?
The most rewarding part, Isaiah, is after teaching for 20 years, is seeing you, right? That's very rewarding. And seeing you on Twitter and seeing that you're giving back and you went back to your old school and you were giving back. That's the most rewarding. I get to see you guys when you're in ninth grade, but I never see you when you're older or in adulthood. So it warms my heart. So I was looking forward to seeing you again. So this interview is what warms my heart.
Oh, thank you so much. So what and on the inverse side of things, what is the most frustrating part of teaching, if there is any for you?
Um, Frustrating. Frustrating is when you know the needs of students, what they need to succeed, and you're not able to meet the needs because of red tape or resources or whatever it is. um, that's the most frustrating part of it, that the Department of Ed needs to give more resources to students who need the most.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. So let's talk a little bit about outside of teaching. What when you have the day off or when you're not when there is nothing going on, no staff meetings or anything like that, what are you doing? Like what's a typical day off or what is your ideal day off for you?
Ideal day off, which my husband and I have been doing since we were teenagers. Every Saturday we would go to the movies. That was our date
Awesome.
day. So that would be one of our our great date day would be a Saturday. Because of COVID, we haven't been going out as much, but we still have a free day. Like Saturday, we go out, we might go to Astoria Park. We we just leave the house on Saturday.
Okay,
No work.
so you just mentioned that you love going to the movies. What was the last great movie that you saw?
The last great movie that I saw, in the movie theater or any movie that
Any form of media on demand, in the movies, doesn't
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I miss going to the movies and being inside the movie theater, because the last 3 years we've been watching movies at home. Um, I'll tell you a Netflix series that my husband and I loved,
Mhm.
Dark.
Oh,
Um,
I haven't.
it's a series and I think it's from Norway, and it was just a spooky, creepy um, kind of series. So I say that was the last one that we saw that we enjoyed.
Now, is that your is horror is that your favorite type is your favorite genre of movies?
Yeah, right now we've been watching a lot of horror movies, mystery movies. We've been watching 1890, The Ship, 1899. It was a new Netflix thing also. So it's one of our favorite things, especially in October, November. Mhm.
I've never heard of it. I have to check it out. So speaking of the pandemic, let's go back a little bit. Like, what was the experience of the early experience of the pandemic like for you?
Well, like everybody else, it was a very shocking thing. Many things in our lives changed. Like, for example, we didn't go to the movies anymore. Our work changed because we pivoted to remote learning, which we've never done before. And my husband and I were home, teaching remotely. So that was a very big change. Um, and also being more aware of our surroundings and illnesses. So that's one of the biggest changes of in our lives.
Actually, you just answered my next question. My next question was going to be, what, if anything, has the pandemic taught you? So I guess you just touched on that.
It taught me also to value um, being with other people in person. Um, and another thing that has changed for me, I teach with a mask on, and I'm so used to seeing people's faces, and I want people to see that I'm smiling under the mask for them. So they don't get to see it because my mouth is covered, but I'm hoping they get to see that I'm smiling for them
Absolutely.
through my eyes, or I don't know, somehow that they see.
Um, so do you have any hobbies that you partake in outside of teaching?
Well, most of my hobbies are connected to teaching. I like to read. Um, I like to watch documentaries now that we've been home. Um, I do my niece's nails, so it's sort of a little hobby for me. Um, that's about it. I'm a very boring person all around. I don't do anything.
No, not at all. Not at all. So you said that you like watching document that you watch documentaries. What was the last documentary that you saw?
Um, it was a murder mystery documentary. Um, I don't remember the title of it, but a girl was missing for 20 years and it was a cold case, and then she was found. That was the last one that we saw. Trying to think of anything. Yeah, it was just a murder mystery, real life documentary of a cold case.
And the last book that you read?
The last book that I read was, which I call him Jack. It was a required reading for our students, and we met the author. So that was a really good. I didn't know that Jackie Robinson did not like to be called Jackie.
Oh,
Um, that his name was Jack, and he preferred that name. And the book talks about his struggles. So this was the last book that I read. And the last book that I read, which I love, was Culturally Responsive Teaching in the Brain. Teaches me how to be a better teacher. And I read The Giver again because my nephew had a project to do with this. So those are my three books that I've read. What I would recommend someone to read is Call Him Jack. Even if you're not a baseball fan, Call Him Jack is a good book.
um, are you a sports fan? Do you like sports?
Um, I like soccer. We're all watching soccer now. My husband likes football. So our family is a soccer/football family.
It's cool. That's amazing. Um, let's see. Where do you teach currently? Are you still teaching at LIC or?
I'm still at LIC,
Oh,
Isaiah.
you are.
Yeah, still in actually the same classroom that you were in also.
Oh my
So,
God.
yeah, still there. It's a lot. I know it seems like so long ago, but it's also seems so short.
Yeah.
Feel like I had recently. You still look like a young high school kid.
No,
Same
that's
smile.
just because I cut my hair. When I don't have my hair cut, it's terrible. Um, okay, let's oh man. What type of if what type of music do you listen to? Like what are you like what's on your iPod or your
Yeah, you're gonna laugh, but I don't have an iPod. I don't have a list of, I just um usually when I watch movies and I hear the soundtrack that I get into the music. And recently, because of COVID, I haven't been able to go to church, so I don't hear my church music
Oh,
anymore. So I watch my church through Zoom, like I'm with you. So I've been listening to church music to try to make it feel like I'm actually going to church in person.
that's I noticed your cat over there. We have a special guest on the interview. Can you talk a little bit about your cat just hanging out over there?
Yeah, she's a rescue cat. So she's a feral cat, Feral. It took a while for her to get used to people. She
Mm-hmm.
was outside. Her name is Scout, from named after Scout from the Mockingbird, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she was outside. My neighbor rang the doorbell, said there's a cat outside and it's freezing. So we got it in a trap. We brought it to the doctor and then we brought her inside. So special guest. Come here, Bella. She's not a lap cat. She doesn't like she won't jump on me, but it took
Ah.
a long time for
Oh, so cute. Um, so I'm kind of curious. Does LIC look the same, or has it changed in any way, shape, or form? Because I haven't been back in so long.
LIC looks, the building looks the same, um, but I feel like the children have changed over time, just like the neighborhood has changed over time. Um, I think if you came in, you'd feel like you're home again, Isaiah, because it feels the same.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely do want to come back.
you you just let me know and we'll set up a time period.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk off air
Okay,
about it, because I definitely do want to come back.
okay.
My actually my younger brother Elijah goes there.
Really? Last is last name Roman also?
Yeah.
Elijah Roman. What grade is he in?
Yeah, he's a sophomore.
Okay. I haven't met him yet.
Yeah. Yeah, if he ever gets you as a teacher, and you run into him, I will make sure to let him know not to mess up in your class.
I only teach ninth grade, so
Oh,
the
okay.
time
Yeah,
has passed.
it's okay. But uh okay, what's the best advice piece of advice you've ever been given?
The best advice, Mr. McAndrew, who's a former teacher, he always used to say, when younger teachers used to go up to him to ask for advice, the best advice he gave us was, it doesn't matter. We're worrying about things that don't matter. You know, worry about the students, worry about their needs, worry about their learning. Don't worry about the other things that don't really matter. So that's life advice. We worry about things that really don't matter.
That's actually very good advice. So what would be the one piece of advice that you would give somebody that's looking to enter teaching, or that's like really, really young in the field, maybe their first year in or second year in? What would be the advice that you would give them?
Be patient with yourself. The way you would show love to your students and that you're patient with your students, you show love to yourself and be patient with yourself. And it takes a while to learn how to teach. It doesn't happen overnight, um, but patience and love will get you through whatever obstacles you're encountering with your students and in your own professional life. And always open your door to other teachers. That's the only way we learn. We go into other people's classrooms and they come to our classrooms. Open your doors.
That's very, very good advice. So what would, if you want to name more than three, that's fine. But what are three things that you would say that you're most thankful for?
Three things that I'm most thankful for. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for family, and I'm health and family and being healthy enough to work. I'm thankful for work. I know some people say, oh, I can't, work is just too much, but I'm thankful for work because it means I'm healthy enough to do it.
Yeah. It's what okay, I'm kind of gonna put you on the spot here.
Yeah,
So just
go
just
ahead.
tell just tell everybody out there what kind of student I was when you.
Oh, Isaiah, you were such a great student. I always remembered your smile. No matter what was going on or how difficult it was, your humor would come through. I don't know if you're still uh, saying jokes to people. Are you still?
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, it's it's just part of my nature.
It is. And it's a gift, Isaiah, especially now when people are so stressed out and on edge with what's going on in the world and COVID. We look to people like you, Isaiah, who have the gift of laughter and the gift of humor and the gift of smiling um, to help us relieve that stress. So I was grateful for you. Even in the class, you made us laugh. You made the whole class laugh. Um, and you were also mature beyond your age. When we did discussions, you didn't speak like a ninth grader. Like you were able to see things that the other ninth graders didn't. So I appreciated you back then, and I appreciate you now. I see your smile. It's $1 million smile.
Thank you so much. And just for everybody out there, I'm not paying her to say this. We did not talk about this off air.
No,
She doesn't
no,
know. She doesn't know what kind of questions I'm gonna ask her. So this is all her.
I
Just
have no clue. This is
putting it
just
out there. No,
a
I'm just kidding.
hundred
But
percent.
no, in all seriousness, okay, let me what's do you have like a mantra or a quote that you live your life by, or
It's not really a quote. I don't have it's just I'm grateful to be healthy enough to do what needs to be done. And my mantra is always give the students what they need and try to get as many resources for them as possible. Because I've been working for so long, I kind of can see where I can get the resources for them.
uh okay, so this is another kind of putting you on the spot question. Have you had any like tough students that you work with, in terms of maybe it's the student themselves that maybe they have like a tough time listening or comprehending the material, or they just don't want to be there, or it could be maybe the parents that are making things difficult for the student. Have you had any of those?
Um, I don't say tough students or tough parents. Whenever there's a conflict or a problem,
Yeah,
means that the needs of the students have not been met. And that means I need to reevaluate what I'm doing as a teacher. So if a student isn't progressing or there's a behavior um, that's a conflicting behavior, it means I'm not meeting their needs. And they don't know how to tell me that I'm not meeting their needs. So I need to step back and reflect, what can I do to help this child meet their needs so that they can move a step forward. So I don't see it as a difficult thing. I just see it as I need to figure out a way to help them better succeed and meet their needs.
That's that's a great way to look at it, because a lot of if I were to ask, another teacher that same question, they'll be like, yeah, the student doesn't want to do this, that, and the other. But that's a nice way to look at it. It's good to have that sort of perspective of, what do I need to do to improve, to maybe help the student, instead of just blaming the student or the parent.
I know. It's there's no blame. There's just we have to find a different way. That I think that's I think that's why I've lasted for so long in teaching, 30 years in the same building, because I don't blame people. I'm not going to get angry at that, but we just have to work together to find a way, a different way. My way is not the right way.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely understand. So let me see if I have any more questions for you. Hmm. Oh, okay. So do you what are your favorite foods, or favorite food, or your go-to comfort food when you
Okay, my go-to food. This was asked in a meeting a couple of weeks ago. They asked if you only had one food and one drink that you can have forever on an island, what would it be? And out of everyone in my group, I had the most boring one, but it's my favorite. So my favorite drink is seltzer water. Don't laugh,
No,
but
not
it's
at all. This is no,
seltzer
this is
water.
great, fascinating information.
Yeah, seltzer water. And my favorite food is chickpeas, garbanzo beans, chickpeas, because I can make so many things. I can make hummus, I can put them in the oven and roast them. So they're very boring foods, but it's my go-to food. And it's exactly what I had right before I spoke to you. I had an apple with chickpea mash. So boring foods.
That's no.
Isaiah, tell me your favorite food. Can you tell me your favorite food?
Uh
Great. We're turning it around.
oh, no, that's fine. I was gonna just ask you, do you have any questions for me to, kind of wind things down? But no, it's fine. We can talk about it. So when I'm not in the gym and not working out, and I kind of like have like a carb load up day when I need to load up on carbs, I pretty much go for pizza.
Pizza. Mmm, it's delicious.
Yeah.
The cheese and the sauce, yeah, it's
Mhm.
my favorite. Cold, not cold. It's great.
Yeah, no. I'm glad I'm not the only one that eats cold pizza because every time that I say that, people look at me strange.
No, it's good. That's when you know it's a great food. Cold, hot, morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. And I'm also a very big breakfast for dinner guy.
Ah, love the breakfast for dinner. It's like a
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah, no, it's fun. You can do so many things with it. Uh so Um, anyway, okay, so do you have any other questions for me or anything that you've always wanted to ask me or that you want to know or
Um,
yours?
Y- Yes, when I saw we reconnected, I saw you on Twitter. You went back to a school and you were talking to the students. I'm just very interested in the conversations that happened between you as the older adult now going back to your same school.
So that's not actually my elementary school. So
Oh, okay.
my elementary school that I went back to and that you saw those pictures from, that was a friend of mine, a buddy of mine named Yeg, who's the assistant principal at PS 112, and he invited me over there to like kind of speak to the students and everything. Um,
Okay.
so that was what you saw, and basically, I taught them basically two things. So like I had two sets of students that day. I had like the second and third graders, and then I had maybe the fourth and fifth graders because it's in elementary school. So the second and third graders, I was teaching them improv comedy because I have a master's degree in theater arts, in addition to having a BA in criminal justice. So I was teaching them about improv comedy, playing, improv games and stuff like that, and teaching them the importance of good education and stuff like that. And I also did maybe like a Q&A with them. And then for the fourth and fifth graders, I taught them like a very basic criminal justice overview, like what a crime is and why you shouldn't commit crimes and what a felony is, things like that.
Wow. I feel um like you're very broad in your gifts, like criminal justice and theater arts. That's a very broad. Which one's your favorite?
I like theater arts more, but if you really think about it, the two really go hand in hand.
Really? Hmm.
Yeah, because if you've ever sat in a courtroom or been on or seen a trial on television, you know, it's sort of like acting. You know, you have the players, you have the lawyers, you have the defense attorneys, and everybody's just doing their part. So that's I kind of equate law to acting, and when you really step into that world, you find you definitely find that the two go hand in hand.
Wow. Thank you. You just broadened my brain there. I never thought the two would go hand in hand.
Yeah,
I
no,
would think,
they actually do. It really does. Both of them.
wow.
Um, so okay, uh do you have anything else, or is that it?
Um, you said you had a younger brother. Do you have older siblings? Are you
Uh
the eldest?
Yeah, so biologically, because my mom is also a foster mom, so biologically, I'm the youngest of six. So it's me and five others, and then my foster brothers I had, they're all younger than me. My foster brothers and sisters, they're all younger than me. Like I have a huge family. So yeah.
How does it feel to be in a big family?
Um yeah, difficult at times, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, family's family.
Mhm.
I love them, and you know, just try to help them in any way that I can, and you know.
Mhm. Is it loud? Because I
Uh,
come from a big fat Greek family too, and it's very loud in my house.
oh, absolutely. Yeah. On like with the holidays coming in, there's gonna be an influx of people coming in and out of here. So we're just trying to get ready for it all.
Aw, I'm happy that there's celebration going on in your home. I'm happy to hear
Absolutely.
that.
Oh man, this has been such an exciting interview. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you. Um, when you messaged me, like my heart was warm that whole time and saying, "Oh, I'm going to see Isaiah. I'm going to speak to him." It just felt happy.
Oh,
So
thank
I'm
you.
grateful. I'm grateful for your invitation. I'm grateful for your interview. I love the platform, and I love that you're continuing to ask questions, um, even during COVID, that we can't really be in person. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you for doing this. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of Classic Conversations. I am Izzy, and she is Miss Karaiskos, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Aw.